Sally Vaughan yanked her injured arm free. Hey! Not so rough. Dr. Jonah Reyes lunged forward. His fingers pinched the pulsing vessel shut. Blood surged in rhythmic jets beneath his grip. Purple tinged, alien thick. He held firm. The makeshift medbay aboard the alien cruiser hummed with tension. Sally's eyes widened. Her scales flushed deeper blue. She hissed through clenched mandibles. Chief Keth Tal burst through the hatch. His stunner locked on Jonah's chest. Release her, human. Now. Jonah kept pressure steady. The vessel throbbed against his fingertips. One slip, and Sally's pressure would drop fatally. Nira, he said. Voice level. Timer. Start it. Prep the sterilizer. Nira Voss froze mid-step. The alien medic's tentacles twitched. She glanced at Keth. Then Jonah. Human, your hands. Timer. Jonah repeated. 2 minutes pressure minimum. Sterilizer hot. Keth advanced. His stunner hummed. Step back.
That's an order. Sally's arm trembled in Jonah's grasp.
She whimpered. It burns too strong. Jonah ignored the stunner's whine. Humans handled bleeds like this in the field. Fingers first, tools second. Alien physiology complicated it. Their vessels elastic, but thin-walled, burst under plasma burns like hers. Nira, move. Nira darted to the console. Her display beeped. Timer active. Sterilizer cycling. Keth loomed closer. His bulk filled the hatchway. You're crushing her soft skin. Let go. Jonah met Keth's gaze. Crushing stops the bleed. Her vitals? Nira scanned Sally's arm. Pulse stabilizing, but phone. Look. Purple froth bubbled from the wound's edges. It hissed on contact with air, eating into Sally's scales. Chemical burn response. Alien regen gone wrong. Sally's breath hitched. Keth. It spreads. Jonah assessed. Foam meant toxin release. Standard for Vorthi officers. Self-sellant turned virulent under heat stress. He needed to flush it. Nira, saline analog. Flush kit. Now, Keth's finger tightened on the trigger. No more orders. Back off. Jonah didn't budge. Shoot me, she dies. Your call. Tension crackled. Keth's mandibles clicked. He held fire. Nira shoved the flush kit into Jonah's free hand. This is our strongest. Won't cut human foam. Won't need to. Jonah popped the seal one-handed. Sprayed the foam. It neutralized in fizzing bursts. Sally's trembling eased. Timer at 90 seconds. Nira reported. Sally stared at Jonah's hand. Your grip? It hurts, but bleeding stopped. Humans pinched harder than Vorthi could tolerate. Jonah's baseline strength pinned what their med scanners barely clamped. He felt the vessel seal beneath his fingers, coagulating now. Keth lowered his stunner a fraction. Explain. Fast. Field medicine, Jonah said. Pressure first, fingers precise. No clamps slip. Nira leaned in. Her scanner beeped, vessel integrity holding. Phone neutralized. But her arm, nerve damage if we don't graft. Sally tried to pull away again. Jonah held. Not yet. Full 2 minutes. Keth growled. You're no doctor. Humans. Fumble tech. This is brutality. Jonah counted breaths. Aliens underestimated grip strength. Vorthi hands webbed pressure diffuse. Humans. Direct force. Watch vitals. Nira's display trilled. Pressure normalized. No surge. Timer hit 0. Jonah released. The wound puckered shut. No bleed. Sally flexed her claws. Purple residue flaked off. Pain. Fading. Keth holstered his stunner. Suspicion lingered in his stance. Nira probed the site. Graft viable now. Human, your method? Why no tools? Tools fail in field. Jonah wiped his hands on sterile gauze. Fingers don't. Sally touched the scar. Her eyes locked on Jonah. You pinned it, like a vice. Vorthi medics use fields. Fields lagged. Jonah prepped the graft pack. This works. But the foam had spread subsurface. Sally's arm spasmed. She gasped. Scales split along a vein. Nira cursed in Vorthi. Secondary reaction. Toxin pool. Keth drew his stunner again. Human, stand down. Jonah grabbed the escalator kit. Alien version too weak. He eyed his own field injector. Nira. Translate dosage. Half your max. Sally's face paled. No needles. Vorthi code. Code kills you. Jonah loaded the injector. Human-grade enzyme dissolver. Dissolved clots in seconds. Vorthy blood rejected it usually. The desperation. Keth blocked him. She said no. Jonah sidestepped. Permission or not, she dies in minutes. Saili clutched her arm. Pain twisted her features. Do it. Keth hesitated. His protector instincts warred. Nira nodded. Dosage. 0.8 units. Human scale. Jonah injected. The enzyme burned in neutral blue against purple veins. Saili's spasm halted. She exhaled. Cold, then clear. Jonah monitored. Vitals climbed.
Steady.
Keth watched the scanner. Impossible. Human chem's toxic to us. Not this dose. Jonah calibrated on the fly. Field docs. Adapted. Your biology fragile. Mix careful. Nira grafted the site. Flesh knit under her field. Flawless. Saili stood. Tested her arm. Full motion. Healed. Fully. Keth crossed his arms. One case doesn't prove. Alarms blared. Hatch hissed. Another officer staggered in. Plasma burn mirroring Saili's. Nira whirled. Crewman Lear. Triage now. Jonah stepped up. Same protocol. Fingers first. Keth moved aside. No stunner drawn. Saili gripped Jonah's shoulder. Gentle. For her, show them. Jonah pinched the vessel. Timer started. Routine. Nira prepped. Human methods. Integrated. The medbay buzzed with purpose. Human hands bridged the gap. Aliens adapted. But Lear's foam surged faster. Purple ate deeper. Jonah escalated. Enzyme double. Now. Keth handed tools. Trust earned. Saili's voice cut through. Dr. Reyes, why risk us? Jonah held pressure. Job 1. Save lives. Species second. Vitals stabilized. Graft set. Crewman Lear flexed. Whole. Nira sealed the log. Protocol updated. Human assist mandatory. Keth nodded once. Respect in his stance. Saili lingered. Your touch. Violent at first. Vital now. Jonah packed his kit. Normal for us. Extreme for you. Alarms silenced. But a new ping echoed. Bridge distress. Captain's voice crackled. Medbay. Multiple casualties. Plasma breach. Jonah grabbed gear. On it. Keth fell in step. With you, human, Saili followed. Arms strong. Human compassion met alien need. Competence closed the wound. Deeper in the ship, breaches widened. More lives hung. Jonah's hands waited. Stunners locked onto Jonah Reyes's chest. 2 guards flanked the medbay hatch. Mandibles clenched. Chief Keth Tau loomed behind them. Claw extended toward his sidearm. Jonah raised empty hands. He pulled a crumpled consent form from his medkit. Sign, or I leave. 9 seconds. Keth's vents hissed.
Human. Step back.
Your strength crushed her last time. Saili's cot bucked. She convulsed, purple foam bubbling from her plasma-edged arm. Vitals screamed on the overhead. Pressure tanking. Tissues sloughing. Nirova started forward. The alien medic's manipulators flew over scanners. Coagulation failing. Human protocol, or she shreds. Jonah tapped the form. 8. Translator collar first. I state terms plain. Keth signaled. A guard slapped the collar around Jonah's neck. It hummed. Live. Words sharpened. No garble. Choices, Jonah said. Voice cut crystal. 1. I treat now. Hands on. Success rate 98% my cases. 2. Restrain me. Use your sedatives. She flatlines in minutes. 3. Watch her foam out. Your call. Saili's eyes locked on him. Officer stripes gleamed under burn char. She gasped through foam. Authorize treatment. Alarms spiked. Her heart, analog stuttered. Ban restraints, Saili rasped. Trust the gap. Keth's crest flared. 2 guards watch his hands. Record every twitch. Guards nodded. Lenses whirred on wrist cams. They holstered stunners but gripped batons. Jonah knelt by the cot. No time for gloves. Sterile field first. He scanned the burn. Plasma had fused vessels. Alien blood too thin to clot without pressure. Human baseline meant pinch hard. For them, earthquake. Antiseptic, he said. Nira passed vials. Standard mix burned Saili species on contact. Tissue tolerance half human. Jonah eyed ratios. Field math clicked. Dilute 30% saline, boost enzyme inhibitor 2.5, match pH to her scan, 4.9. Nira paused. Her vents cycled out. Then she measured. Human ratios, precise. A bridge officer burst in.
Sedative stat! Override the pink skin!
Nira blocked the injector. Negative. Human enzyme cascade outpaces ours. Back, Reyes. On my log. Officer snarled but retreated. Nira plunged the mix. Jonah's hands dove in. He pinched the primary vessel. Firm. Sayali's arm jerked. Human grip equaled vice to her. Guards tensed. Batons rose. Hold. Keth barked. Record. Foam slowed. Purple receded a millimeter. Jonah layered graft mesh. Pressure steady. Enzyme deploy. Sayali's vents ragged. Your touch crushes worlds. Routine, Jonah said. Your cells knit faster than mine. Bridge it right, you heal whole. Nira monitored. Clot forming. Impossible speed. Guards leaned closer. Lenses zoomed on Jonah's fingers. Steady as machines. But alive with micro-adjusts no alien claw matched. Vitals plateaued. Sayali exhaled. Arm flexed experimental. Skin sealed seamless. Keth lowered his baton. One case doesn't prove. Alarms blared anew. Hatch hissed open. Another officer staggered through. Plasma burn mirroring Sayali's. Crewman Lear clutched his side. Foam already purple deep. Nearer whirled. Triage now! Jonah stepped up. No pause. Same protocol. Fingers first. Keth shifted aside. Baton stayed holstered. No draw this time. Sayali gripped Jonah's shoulder. Gentle, for her kind. Show them. Jonah pinched Lear's vessel. Timer started in his head. Routine. Nira prepped the mix. Ratios memorized now.
Human methods. Integrated, Nira said.
She handed the syringe. Medbay buzzed. Purpose replaced panic. Jonah escalated as Lear's foam surged faster. Enzyme double. Tissue thinner here. Keth passed tools without prompt. Jonah worked. Guards recorded still, but stances eased. Sayali's voice sliced through. Dr. Reyes, why risk us? Jonah held pressure. Blood knit under his hold. Job 1. Save lives. Species 2nd. Lear's vitals stabilized. Graft set. He flexed. Ol. Nira sealed the log. Protocol updated. Human assist mandatory. Keth nodded once. Respect straightened his frame. Sayali lingered by the cot. Your touch. Violent at first. Vital now. Jonah packed his kit. Normal for us. Extreme for you. Alarms silenced. Bridge ping echoed next. Captain's voice crackled. Medbay. Multiple casualties. Plasma breach in engineering. Jonah grabbed gear. On it. Keth fell in step. With you, human. Sayali followed. Arm strong. Deeper breaches widened. Casualties mounted. Jonah hit the corridor at run. Keth matched pace. Sayali flanked. Guards trailed, cams rolling. Engineering hatch buckled, under pressure seals. Smoke vented acrid. Plasma residue. 3 crew down. Burns layered deep. Foam choking vents. Nira called ahead. Triage priority. Officer Vec first.
Jonah dropped by Vec. Caller hummed translations.
Consent? Vec gurgled, nodded frantic.
No guns this time.
Keth waved guards to perimeter. Hands free, Doctor. Jonah mixed on the fly. Alien tolerance locked in now. Pinch. Pressure. Enzyme hit. Vec arched. Guards flinched but held. Steady, Sayali said. She braced the officer. He bridges. Second casualty frothed. Jonah shifted seamless. Nira, graft cue. She complied. Their rhythm synced. Human speed. Alien precision. Keth scanned perimeters. Breach spreading. More inbound. Third down. Jonah's hands blurred. Routine escalated. Double vessels fused. He clamped both. Ratio adjust. Saline 40. pH dropped to 4.7. Nira, calibrated. Confirmed. Foam cleared. Vec sat up. Whole. Engineering stabilized. But main deck alarms wailed. Hull breach. Captain again. All medics. Casualty wave. 15 plasma hits. Jonah rose. Kit slung. Lead on, Chief. Keth gripped his shoulder. Mirror of Sayali's. Your normal saves are exceptional. They charged. Corridor shook. Human hands led. Alien trust followed. Sally matched stride. What else hides in human routine? Jonah grinned mid-run. Plenty. Lives first. Hatch to main deck loomed. Screams echoed through. Jonah shouldered it open. Chaos reigned. 10 crew writhed. Plasma vents spewed intermittent. Guards cordoned. Stunners hot. A lieutenant barked. Sedatives. Restrain the. Nira cut in. Human-led. Protocol raise. Keth boomed. Comply. Jonah. Triaged. Line them. Consent chain. Collars circulated. Nods rippled. No countdown needed. He started at head. Pinch. Mix. Graft. Hands flew. Human endurance outlasted fatigue. Sily assisted. Passed tools. Her arm flexed flawless. One officer seized mid-treatment. Vitals crashed alien hard. Escalate, Jonah said. Triple enzyme. Clamp secondary. Nira blocked a rival sedative push again. Reyes cascade. Trust data. Clot held. Officer breathed. Crew murmured. Pink skin mends. Keth recorded himself now. Logs to fleet. Wave cleared. 15 whole. Captain arrived. Scales scorched light. Report. Nira stood tall. 0 losses. Human integration. 100%. Captain eyed Jonah. Your violence heals. Routine, Jonah said. Packed last kit. But engineering ping returned. Secondary breach. Exotic plasma variant. Scanner glitch. New alarm. Thek stumbled back in. Phone black now. Jonah knelt. Variant mix. Analyzing. Keth drew Jonah's scalpel bit into Saili's uniform. Fabric parted clean under the vibro edge. Blue ichor welled from her side. She hissed through clenched mandibles, scales paling under his gloved hands. Shard embedded, Jonah said. Deep track. Hold still. Saili lay strapped to the med slab in the cleared bay. Vex foam had stabilized. Minor exposure. But Saili's limp from engineering hit harder. Exotic plasma shard punched through her flank during the breach. Nira scanned it first. Irremovable without breach risk, she'd warned. Jonah triaged past that. Field med never waited for scans. Keth gripped his stunner holster. His frills flared wide. Pink skin. No deeper cuts. Jonah ignored him. Exposed the wound fully. 2-inch gash pulsed rhythmics alien to human eyes. Faint glow under translucent skin. Shard tip glinted. Barbed plasma forged. Bleeding track wept slow but steady. Alien vessels too fine for clamps. Retractor, Jonah snapped. Sally passed it herself. Arm trembling but precise. Her eyes locked his. Trust flickered there. Earned from the triage rush. Nira hovered at console. Human toolset uncalibrated. Her hemocytes clot slower than ours. Calibrate later. Jonah widened the incision. Shard base showed, wedged in muscle analog. He probed gentle. Sily arched once. No scream. Discipline held her. Keth stepped closer. Claws tapped deck. She endures pain thresholds, lethal to humans. Your touch bruises. Jonah felt the irony. Human hands dwarfed her frame. Strength he reigned daily now read as threat. Pain saves her. Watch. He reached for the cautery rod. Kit hissed. Metal tip glowed cherry red from plasma arc. Field trick. Sterile seal. Instant. Keth lunged. Stunner whipped out. Violence. Heated probe assault. Boots thudded. Keth's bulk slammed forward. Jonah sidestepped smooth. Rod steady in grip. Nira darted between.
Chief! Data chain! Reyes protocol!
Sili's mandibles clicked weak. Keth. Stand. Keth froze mid-draw. Frills quivered rage. Jonah didn't flinch. Time bled lives in field. Shard first. Or she vents plasma internal. Captain's voice crackled calm. Stand down, Tal. Human leads. Keth holstered slow. Eyes bored into Jonah. One error. I end it. Jonah nodded once, pressed the glowing rod to Sali's bleeding track. Flesh sizzled. Acrid steam rose. Ozone tang mixed alien copper. Sali's scales blackened instant at contact. Track sealed in one controlled press. 3 seconds. Jonah withdrew. No drip. Perfect cauter. Sily bucked. Mandibles gaped silent scream. He yanked the shard free. Barb scraped clean. Ichor trickled minimal. Dropped it in tray. Clink. Echoed. Seal holding. Jonah probed edges. Firm. Then Sally convulsed. Chest heaved wrong. Gills fluttered erratic. Vitals on Nira's screen flatlined rhythm. Alien hypoxia crash. Resps failed. Nira lunged for ventilator hose. Jonah pinned Siley's shoulders. Human weight, gentle but iron. Manual first. Their lungs reject pressure shifts. He tilted her head, pinched gill flaps open. Sealed mouth over secondary vent. Human field hack for avian analogs. Blue steady rhythm. 1-2. Compressed chest. Repeat. Her frills pulsed faint color back. Convulsion eased. Keth loomed. You breathe for her. Stabilizes till enzyme flush. Jonah kept rhythm. Sweat beaded his brow. Human lungs outpaced alien needs. Precise control or rupture. Nira synced her pad. Timing. Inhale 3 seconds, compress 2.4. Log. Human ventilation bridges gill collapse. Fingers flew. She matched his breaths on dummy hose. Protocol viable. Fleet upload. Siley stirred under Jonah's hands. Eyes focused. Mandibles clicked soft. Pink. Skin breath. Jonah eased off. Nira slapped enzyme patch. Vitals climbed steady. Keth crossed arms. Frills lowered half. You burned her. Breathed her. She lives. Routine. Jonah stripped gloves. Packed kit. Human med blurred lines aliens drew sharp. Sally pushed up. Uniform shreds draped modest. She clutched edge, humiliation flashing in averted gaze. Exposed, touched. Healed. Voice held no whine. Just fact. Nira nodded fierce. Demonstration logged. Human contact. Calibrated force equals survival delta 80-7%. Crew murmured beyond cordon. Pink skin men's deep. Captain strode in. Scales gleamed unscarred. Officer Vorn. Status. Operational. Saley swung legs off slab. Flexed arm flawless again. Stood tall despite shreds. Captain eyed Jonah. Your routine invades. Yet works. Jonah shrugged. Gaps close with data. Keth grunted. Holstered stunner full. Strength hidden. Controlled. Alarm pinged anew. Console flared. Tertiary breach. Plasma core unstable. Saley straightened uniform remnants. Engineering again. I lead repair. Jonah grabbed kit. I follow. Variant 2. Keth fell in step. Human guards now. Nira synced pads. Protocol evolves. They charged corridor. Deck shuddered. Jonah matched Saley's stride. Her scales brushed his arm accidental. No flinch this time. Plasma vents hissed ahead. Guard sealed hatch. Vec waved scanner frantic. Core shard swarm. Jonah shouldered through. Triaged breach site. Shards peppered bulkhead. Live barbs humming. Saley pointed. My station. Stabilize field. He nodded. Cautery chain. Line up. Crew formed. Consent nods rippled fast. Jonah heated rod first. Passed to Kith. Press firm. 2 seconds per. Keth gripped. Tested on scrap. Sizzle approved. Human fire. We wheeled. Nira timed. 1.8 optimal. Siley vented first shard. Steady claw. Jonah breathed back up when she flagged. Rhythm synced. Shards dropped. Tray filled. Core hummed stable. Vec exhaled foam free. Swarm neutralized. Captain Komed. Fleet hails. Human integration broadcast. Saley met Jonah's eyes. Your hands. Bridge. He grinned. Team does. Keth clapped Jonah's shoulder. Careful strength. Pink skin capability. Logged. Deck quieted, but deep scan pinged. Hull microfracture. Exotic bleed slow. Jonah knelt. Next gap. Saley's mandibles clicked resolve. Together. Nira plotted vectors. Protocol 3 hybrid touch. They moved as one. Human calm led. Alien precision followed. Core held. But fracture whispered wider. Jonah's scanner caught it. Human baseline pierced alien blind spot. Escalate, he said. Full breach imminent. Keth drew tools now. Trust sealed in cotter scars. Siley flexed healed flank. What else hides in human routine? Jonah pressed rod to fresh vent. Glow answered. Plenty. Lives first. Siley's flank spasmed. Jonah yanked the scanner from his belt. Red lines flared across her vitals. Allergic cascade ripping through her system. Lock down all meds, Jonah barked. Ship-wide! Now! Nira froze mid-scan. Her frills quivered. Human. Our protocols. Poisoning her. Jonah pointed at the display. Hides bloomed under Sally's scales. Cascades from your injectors. Anti-coag from the breach patch. Shut it down. Keth's claws snapped to his sidearm. Pink-skinned commands my medbay. Sally's breath hitched. Jonah knelt, pinned her claw before it thrashed. Human grip firm, no crush. Nira. Pharmacy access. Full audit. Nira's eyes darted to Keth. Chief nodded once, terse. She slapped her pad to Jonah's scanner. Access codes flowed. Jonah sprinted to the medbay vault. Vials gleamed in cryorex. Alien compounds. Shimmering blues and violets. He swiped each past his analyzer. Cross-matches lit up failures. This batch, anticoagulant analog. Triggers her histamine analogs. Pull it. Nira shadowed him. Claws hovered, ready to snatch. Our standard. Saved her bleed. Yours risks. Standards killing her. Jonah logged the bad vial. Sealed the rack. All non-essential meds offline. Biometrics only. Keth loomed in the hatch. Proof, Doctor! Or you bunk in the brig. Sayali's comm crackled from the core deck. Pain rising. Jonah grabbed a sample kit. Lab. Blood draw. Cross-reactivity test. Keth blocked the corridor. Bulkhead shadows sharpened his silhouette. I escort. Fail. And human hands stay caged. Deal. Jonah shouldered past. Keth matched stride. Claws tapping warning. Lab hummed sterile. Jonah prepped the microfilter. Human field gear. Palm-sized. Pricked Sally's flank by a proxy drone. One violet drop of blood welled. Keth's vents hissed. Fragile. Your tools bruise. Won't. Jonah loaded the drop. Pipe-headed the suspect anticoagulant. Filter spun. Nanomesh binding proteins. Readout pinged 98% cascade match. See? Jonah thrust the pad. Red cascade graphic pulsed. Her proteins rejected. Human baseline flags this in training sims. Nira leaned in. Frills flattened. Blind spot. Our spectra miss human range allergens. Keth grunted. Claws eased from hilt. Proceed. But split dose. No flood. Jonah nodded. Raided the vault for stabilizers. Alien epi-analog. Low reactivity. Mixed in his field synthesizer. Human rig word. Fractionating molecules on the fly. Split syringe filled. Half now, half standby. Back at Sally's bay. She arched, mandibles grinding. Neck spasm built. Chest plates heaving. Hold steady. Jonah swabbed her neck vein. Human hands blurred. Alcohol wipe. Needle angle perfect. Pushed the first half dose. Sally gasped. Hives faded. Breath evened. Keth's eyes widened. Cascade. Halts. Not done. Jonah monitored. Second spasm loomed faint. He dosed the rest. Vitals greened. Nira cross-checked her scanner. Reversal complete. Human formulation. Binds without rejection. Scially stirred. Claw flexed toward Jonah. Touch. Healed. He packed his kit. Routine. Your bleed meds clashed with shard toxins. Humans baseline for this. Keth crossed arms. Our medbay yields to pink skin audit. Logged for fleet. Jonah grinned faint. Team audit. Lives first. But Sally's core scan pinged anew. Subdermal shard fragment migrated. Missed in alien deep tissue. Escalate, Jonah said. One more gap. Keth handed him the cautery rod. Trust glowed in alien eyes. Sally's mandibles clicked. Human routine. Endless. Jonah heeded the tip. Glow promised more bridges. Deeper scan revealed the shard's path, burrowing toward her primary artery. Alien med scans glossed it. Human Doppler pierced the interference. Prep restraint field, Jonah ordered. Migrating barb. Needs extraction. Nira activated the gel restraints. Sally's limbs sank into soft hold. Her eyes locked on Jonah. Your hands. Again. Clean cut. Jonah sterilized a microlaser. Human precision tool scavenged from his kit. One vent. Pull. Seal. Keth positioned floodlights. Fail, and artery bursts. Listed. Jonah traced the shard's glow. Laser kissed scale. Sizzle precise. No char. Barb emerged. Barb tip humming faint. Scially tensed. No cry. Discipline held. Jonah clamped. Extracted. Dropped it in tray. Laser sealed the track. Clear. Vitals steady. Nira probed the site. No bleed. Seamless. Keth exhaled. Pink skin sees what we miss. Biological edge. Not edge. Jonah wiped tools. Different spectra. Humans evolved messy worlds. Polyallergens standard. Siley rose. Flexed fully. Humiliating yet vital. Your contact deemed violent before. Jonah shrugged. Hands heal. Or hold. Context. Nira logged the hybrid protocol. Fleet update. Human med integration mandatory. Deck crew gathered. Whispers rippled. Pink skin bridged the kill. But Jonah's scanner buzzed personal alert. His own vitals. Radiation lag from core work. Human tolerance high but accumulating. Siley noticed. Your light? Dim? Routine fatigue. He pocketed it. Next shift. Keth clapped his shoulder. Firmer now. Breast under guard. Capability earned watch. Jonah nodded. Bridge held. But fleet hails incoming. Wider gaps loomed. Saley's comm lit. Captain's voice. Human doctor. Multiple casualties inbound. Shard swarm hit allied hulls. On deck. Keth grinned fangs. Together. They moved. Human calm led. Alien steel followed. In the bay, Saley's allergy crash had nearly claimed her. Jonah's ban on ship meds saved the officer's life. Now, with trust forged in biles and veins, the crew eyed his kit hungry. But the real test brewed. Allied ships docking. Their wounded carrying unknown toxins. Human baseline versus fleet physiology. Jonah prepped broader synthesizers.
Audit incoming, Pharma. Cross test all.
Nira handed full vault codes. No hesitation. Keth posted at the hatch. Protector turned ally. Saley's claw gripped his sleeve. Light. Prove more, Doctor. He nodded. Always do. Shuttle clamps thudded. Wounded poured in. Scales ruptured. Vents foaming exotic. Jonah triaged. Allergics front. Lock meds till scan. Aliens gaped. Human hands blurred. Pricks. Mixes. Doses. One warrior spasmed. Jonah's split antidote flowed. Cascade broke. Cheers echoed. Pinkskin heals. But deep in the foam, a new strain glowed. Viral hitchhiker on shards. Jonah's scanner caught it first. Quarantine breach. Formulating viral block. Keth drew blades.
Threat. Heal. Jonah worked.
Fleet watched. Human routine rewrote stars. Siley's eyes shone. What hides next in human hands? Jonah pushed the dose. Plenty. Lives first. The viral strain mutated mid-scan. Jonah adapted. Human improv on fly. Nira marveled. Your synth. Evolves output. Feedback loop. He tweaked parameters. New batch neutralized. Keth relayed to Captain. Recommend human med lead. Permanent. Siley's strength returned full. She stood sentinel beside him. Fragile no more. Wounded stabilized. Shuttle bays cleared. But Jonah's fatigue pinged critical. Radiation scrubbed his cells slow. Siley pressed a stabilizer vial. His formulation. Your gap. He took it. Grinned. Siley's eyes snapped open. Her claw slashed air as Jonah's thumb pressed her forearm. He held steady. Capillary refill checked in 2 seconds. Color returned pink under translucent scales. Brutal. She hissed. Voice cracked like dry vents. Human hands crush. Keth lunged from the hatch. Blades gleamed. Back off, pink skin. Jonah lifted both palms. Slow. Routine vitals. No crush. He nodded to Nira. Gauge it. Nira yanked a force sensor from the wall kit. Slapped it onto Saley's arm bracket. Calibrate now. Saley jerked back. Scales rattled. He pressed. Felt like clamp failure. Jonah rigged the gauge in 10 seconds. Strapped it to his thumb. Dial glowed 0. Watch. He touched her forearm again. Light circle. Dial spiked. 0.8 newtons. Siley's vents wheezed. Liar gauge. Read it, Jonah said. Calm. Checklist ticked. Keth snatched the sensor. Clamped his own thick finger down. Dial hit 2.1 newtons. His gentle press. He froze. Claws flexed. My safe touch. Your whisper. Nira scrolled her pad. Eyes widened. Species Delta confirmed. Our safe pressure. 1.5 newtons max. Human baseline starts lower.
She tapped commands. Updating all protocols.
Human force cap. 0.5 newtons unless calibrated. Build padded clamps, Jonah added.
My grip needs buffer. Yours too fragile.
Nira barked into comms. Fab shop. Priority clamps, human scale padding. Gel matrix 3 mm thick. Test to 1 newton yield. She turned. Done. Your hands rewrite our bays. Saley sat up. Claw gripped bed rail. Bent it slight. Prove more. Treat my vent scar without pain. Threshold. 0 flinch. Under 0, 4 newtons total. Jonah nodded. No pause. Agreed. He scanned the scar first. Jagged line from earlier shrapnel. Inflamed vents bubbled faint. Human synth already quelled infection, but alien healing lagged. Keth crossed arms. Blades sheathed, but eyes sharp. Fail, and I end this. Watch. Jonah prepped microprobe. Padded now, from Nira's quick fab. Gauge strapped inline. He pierced scar edge. Dial, 0.3 newtons. Sally's vents held steady. She blinked, no flinch. Deeper. Probe slid in. Flushed antibiotic slurry. Human mix alien tuned. Dial peaked 0.39. Scar knit visible. Scale smoothed. Keth leaned close. No spasm. Impossible. Nira cross-check scanner. Tissue regen tripled. Human slurry bonds are proteins. She logged it. Standard now. Saeli flexed the vent. Air whistled clean. You hide strength and softness. Her claw tapped his sleeve. Light. Trust earned. Jonah unstrapped the gauge. Fatigue tugged, but stabilizer hummed in veins. Next patient? Alarms blared. Bay 3. Warrior thrashed. Human. My leg. It's shearing. Jonah bolted. Keth matched stride. Saley followed. Steady. They burst in. Warrior's scale plate split. Bone foam oozed. Alien clamp slipped. Too tight for his grip. Clamp off, Jonah ordered. Nira yanked it. Gauge read 4.2 newtons. Warrior screamed. Jonah palmed new padded one. Fab fresh. Pressed femur site. Dial. 0.7. Stabilize. Keth held the leg. His grip ghosted now. Learned caution. Siley relayed vitals. Pressure crashing. Jonah injected scaffold gel. Human formula. Fast set. Bone foam hardened. Plate realigned. Dial never topped. 0.9. Warrior gasped. Healed. Pinkskin men's. Unbreakable. Nira patched the chart. All bays. Human assist mandatory. Force audits live. Jonah wiped foam. Grinned faint. Routine. But Saley's gaze sharpened. She pointed his scanner log. Your cells. Radiation lag. WEO counters. He shrugged. Lives first. Keth grunted approval. Prove that too. Shuttle hissed dock. Fresh wounded inbound. Exotic bleeds. Jonah triaged on approach. Allergics tag blue. Vents yellow. Aliens moved like his extensions. Nira called doses. Siley clamped vitals. Keth secured thrashers. First patient down. Human needle blurred. 0.2 newton prick. Alien gasped awake. Whole. Crew murmured. They bend to him. Siley pressed Jonah's shoulder. Firm for her. Your compassion. Not brute. Bridge. He nodded. Scanner pinged new anomaly. Deep tissue rot. Viral remnant. Quarantined this bay. Jonah rigged isolator. Human hands danced. Sample. Synth. Block. Keth drew blade perimeter. Threat. Heal. Dose flowed. Rot reversed. Patient stirred. Nira marveled. Feedback adapts mid-flow. Our synths static. Human improv. Jonah calibrated next. Saley stood sentinel. Claw ready, but aimed outward now. Waves hit. Jonah blurred through 20. Padded clamps saved 3 fractures. Force logs proved every touch. Fatigue clawed back. Stabilizer waned. Sally's vial waited spare. Chief pinged Captain. Human led permanent. Capabilities. Exceed. Captain's voice crackled. Granted. But test full. Bridge the fleet plague. Jonah paused. Scanner confirmed. Viral strain fleet wide. His block held here. Siley met his eyes. Prove ultimate. No pain. Save all. He gripped padded tool. Dial zeroed. Always. Alarms peaked. Fleet bays lit red. Human hands rewrote the stars. One calibrated touch at a time. But the plague mutated. Scanner glowed hot. Jonah's thumb hovered. Press or pull back. Saeli's claw tightened. Your call, Doctor. He pressed. Data flooded. New formula brewed. Jonah's fingers flew across the synthesizer panel. Vials clinked as the new formula bubbled. Antiviral blockers tuned to the mutation spike proteins. Saeli's claw tapped his wrist. Sharp, but controlled. Teach me control, she rasped. Her voice echoed through the isolator field. Your hands blur.
Mine break. He nodded, eyes locked on the brew.
Signals first. Stop. Palm out.
Slow. Circle thumb. Go. Fist pump. He demonstrated mid-stir, palm flashing flat. The mixer halted on cue. Saeli's frilled crest flared. Test. She slapped palm out. Jonah froze. Vial paused mid-pour. Good. She pumped fist. He resumed. Pour exact. Keth loomed at the bay door. Blade sheathed but grip tight. 2 guards flanked him, rifles humming low. Human. Keth's growl cut the hum. Her splint shifts. Viral rot loosened struts. Jonah glanced. Saeli's leg brace sagged, fibers frayed from the infection's acid byproducts. Without reset, compartment syndrome would crush her arteries. Reset now. Jonah grabbed padded clamps. Signals guide me. Saeli nodded, palm out. He waited. Circle thumb. He eased clamps slow, inching the strut. Her breath hissed, pain receptors firing at human baseline pressure. Fist pump. He torqued. Click. Strut locked true. She timed it. 3 seconds compliant. No deviation. Compliant. Her eyes gleamed. 0 breach. Keth stepped closer. Scanned the force logs on Jonah's wrist display. Readings glowed. 0.1 newtons max. Alien safe. Guards off. Keth waved them out. Witness only. Me. 1 guard lingered. Keth shoved him through the hatch. I said 1. Nira burst in. Datapad clutched. Fleet bays overload. Your block holds here, but mutations vary. She thrust the pad forward. Joint protocol. Now. Jonah skimmed the draft. Human signals integrated. Padded tools mandatory. Triage card for all bays. Saeli's system scaled. Stamp it. Nira held the seal. Her tendrils quivered. Emergency law. He pressed thumb to the pad. Ink bloomed red, shipwide. Alarms wailed anew. Saeli's comm buzzed. Captain's channel open. Dr. Reyes primary. Saeli's claw stabbed the accept. Until discharge. My bays. Fleet link. Silence cracked. Crew voices exploded over open comms. Human touch. Her scales scar. Chief, override. Our medics trained. Keth snarled into his own comm. Logs prove. Fracture saved. Rot reversed. Backlash ends. Nira patched the triage card fleet-wide. Bays pinged acceptance. Grudging. Jonah ignored the chatter. Grabbed the fresh vial. Saeli's arm extended. Signals ready. But her crest drooped. Crew fractures deeper. Trust. He zeroed the injector. Palm out. Wait. Fist. Dose flowed. Perfect. She flexed. Scales gleamed healthy. They see brute. You bridge. Keth crossed arms.
Not brute. Precise.
His blade stayed sheathed. Fleet scans flooded Jonah's display. 20 bays, mutations branching. His formula base held. But tweaks needed per strain. Scale it. He rigged a broadcast synthesizer. Hands danced. Upload. Adapt. Deploy. Nira mirrored on her station. Our static synths lag. Yours feedback live. Saeli's claw gripped his shoulder. Firm anchor. Primary. Prove. Crew backlash. Surged. A junior officer stormed the bay. Captain, recall. Human crushed Vixari arm last shift. Logs. Keth shoved the display. Force. 0.05 newtons. Arm saved. Officer recoiled. Muttered retreat. Jonah tuned the next batch. Saeli signals flashed. Slow. On the viral extractor. He complied. Draw perfect. No tear. Her eyes met his. Bedside to bridge. Your compassion. Rule.
He nodded.
Pushed the fleet broadcast. Vials deployed to every bay. Alarms shifted. Green flickers. 1 bay cleared. 2. But comms erupted. Human rule? Our medics sidelined. Captain's voice boomed. Triage card law. Reyes leads adaptation. Keth grinned. Fangs sharp. They explode.
We heal. Jonah's stabilizer vial ran dry.
Fatigue blurred edges. Siley's spare vial waited. She pressed it into his palm. Fist pump. He dosed himself. Clarity snapped back. Fleet bays lit green. 10, 15. Mutations buckled. Nero whooped. Feedback loops yours, our probes predict only. Siley stood. Splint solid. Claw, outward. Guardian now. Crew yields, or I enforce. Backlash peaked. Officers clustered at the hatch. Demote him. Alien ways first. Keth blocked them. Watch. He pulled up main bay feed. Human hands blurred through a critical case. Signals honored. Patient stirred. Murmurs shifted. He adapts. Jonah ignored. Next strain pinged. Liver variant. He brewed. Palm out from a remote signal. Saley's override. Dose sent. Bay cleared. Crew parted. One officer nodded. Teach us signals. Near drafted addendum. Human-alien training rotations. Siley leaned in. Ship-wide rule. Your compassion. Jonah calibrated the final fleet batch. Hands steady. But a shadow scan flickered. New mutation. Neural. His thumb hovered. Press to analyze, or hold for crew buy-in. Crew eyes locked on him. Keth's blade hand twitched. Your call, Doctor.
Saley's claw tightened on his arm. Bridget.
No pain.
He pressed.
Data surged. Formula evolved. Bays went silent. Then cheers. Human compassion etched into alien stars. But the neural strain whispered deeper. Scanner glowed critical. One bay flatlined. Jonah blurred to the hatch. Override. Now. Crew parted. Backlash shattered. They followed. Jonah burst through the hatch. The ward reeked of ozone and charred flesh. Bay 7 flatlined. Crewman Lyrak, mid-30s equivalent, convulsed on the slab. His neural vents pulsed erratically, leaking bioelectric sparks that scorched the padding. Clear! Jonah barked. He shoved past 2 hovering techs. Their claws scraped his sleeve. Nero Voss blocked him. Human, stand down. Fleet protocol. Species-specific care only. Crew clustered at the viewport. Shouts erupted. No primate hands. He'll crush the vents. Ban him now. Alien medics first. Saley's voice cut through. She limped from her bay, splint gleaming. Reyes enters. I authorize. Public record. His method saved me. Override logged. Keth Tal gripped his blade hilt. He scanned the mob. Order stands. Or face charges. Jonah ignored them. He slammed Lyrak's restraints. Scanner hummed. Neural mutation variant 3, cascading shutdown. Human baseline. Tweak voltage. Cauterize leaks. Alien physiology. Vents fragile as wet tissue. Pressure lethal. Chart, Jonah said. Nira slapped it into his palm. He cross-referenced Saley's data. Dosing halved. Force calibrated to 40% human norm. Lyrak thrashed. Sparks flew. Jonah pinned the limb with one hand, gentle by his standards, iron to theirs. Cautery probe. Timed. 3 seconds per vent. Mira hesitated, then handed it over. Your signals? Match our probes now? Watch. Jonah pressed. Sizzle. 1, 2, 3. Vent sealed. Lyrak gasped. Crew pounded the viewport.
Violence! He's burning him alive!
An officer lunged for the alarm. Keth's blade flashed, crossed the throat, not piercing. Halt. Mutiny under Article 47. Stand down, or die. The mob froze. Keth tapped his wrist comm. Feed active. Main bay records all. Force measured at 0.8 bars. Cautery precise to microseconds. Patient vitals rising. Legal defense filed. Jonah moved to vent 2. Lyrak's eyes fluttered open. Doc, burns, but clear. Stay still. Jonah injected the brew. Alien-safe neural stabilizer. Dosed via Sayali's override code. No feedback loops this time. Vents stabilized. Flatline reversed. Nira leaned in. Her probes beeped confirmation. Human dosing. Predicts cascades, ours can't. I'm filing now. She punched her console. Cross-species standard. Reyes protocol. Mandatory adoption. Command acknowledge. Hollow flickered. Bridge officer grunted assent. Logged. Fleet-wide. Crew murmured. One tech edged closer. Teach the grip? Our claws slip. Saley's claw rested on Jonah's shoulder. Light pressure. Trust.
He bridges. No more bands.
Jonah wiped sweat. Scanner pinged clean. But Lyrak whispered, "Crew deck." Another down. Same strain. Keth spun. Second collapse. Ward 2. Jonah grabbed the kit. Led. They charged corridors. Alarms wailed. Another crewman, Engineer Tira, crumpled in the hall. Vents fried. Limbs locked. Crew encircled. Alien care only. Is cursed us. Saley shoved through. Reyes acts. My order enforced.
Keth formed a wedge. Path.
Or restraint. Jonah dropped beside Tira. Restraints snapped. Scanner confirmed. Variant 4. Accelerated. Need ward gear. Fast. Nira sprinted ahead. Opened Bay 8. Jonah lifted Tira. Effortless to him. Horrifying to them. Her vents wept fluid. Measured force, he narrated for record. Pinned. Cautery. 1, 2,
3. Seal.
Dose primed. Saley's code pulsed approval. Tyra arched. Then settled. Vitals climbed. Crew gaped. He lifted her. Without strain. Keth replayed the feed. Strength controlled. Data irrefutable. Mutiny quelled. Nira uploaded. Protocol expands. Lift protocols. Human grip training. Command. Ratify. Bridge affirmed. Cheers rippled. But Jonah's scanner buzzed. Third ping. Officer in engineering. Worse. Multi-vent failure. He bolted. Next. Saley matched stride. We follow. All of us. Crew fell in. No shouts now. Eyes wide, watching the human blur. Engineering hatch sealed. Muffled screams inside. Jonah punched override. Incoming. Inside, Officer Vec spasmed against a console. Sparks arced. 2 vents blown. Third leaking plasma. Crew techs backed away. Too fragile. Probes fail. Jonah shouldered in. Kit! Nira tossed it. He calibrated on the fly. Forced to 0.6 bars. Cautery doubled for plasma. Pinned Vec's torso. Seal 1. Fluid staunched. Vec clawed weakly. Human! Kill! Trust the data! Seal 2. Inject dosed for plasma variant. Vec stilled. Breathed. Keth sealed the hatch behind. Third save. Record unbreakable. Nira beamed. Standard locked. Human-alien hybrid bays. Fleet-wide. Siley nodded. Compassion proven. Competence etched. Jonah stood. Bays green across the ship. But his personal scanner, wrist-mounted, flared red. Not alien. Human strain. His own veins itched. Mutation jumped species. He clenched his fist. Ignored it. Crew needed him first. Status all bays? He asked. Nira checked. Clear. But patrols report fatigue. Latent carriers.
Hunt them.
Jonah brewed a fleet batch, hands steady. Saley's claw brushed his. You first, Doctor. He paused. Pressed analyze. Data whispered, adapt or burn. Crew waited. Keth's blade relaxed. Trust built. Jonah dosed himself. Clarity held. Batch flowed, but engineering console glitched. Incoming Hail Fleet Admiral. Reyes protocol reviewed. Deploy to Vanguard ship. Outbreak confirmed. Saley straightened. He goes. We escort. New hook. Fleet-wide plague. Human hands only cure. Jonah packed. No time for humble. Action called. Crew saluted. Barriers bridged. Stars awaited. A distant bay pinged again. Fourth collapse. He ran. They followed.